back to my channel. My name is Emma and today I am doing a February wrap-up. So this is all of the books that I read this month. How exciting. I did get in quite a few books and I'm really surprised and happy with myself because I kind of feel like I'm getting out of the slump. Finally. Thank the book gods for that. Oh. So I have a mixture of physical copy type books and ebooks, obviously, because ebooks are amazing and I love to read them at night when I can't hold a actual book in my hand. So the first book I read this month, lies, it's not the first book, it's a book I read this month. A book I read this month is Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. I'm never going to say that right, I feel like. Am I saying it right? I don't know. This follows Audrey Rose, and she is in like the 1800s, the late 1800s I believe, when Jack the Ripper was among people and killing everyone that he saw. So Audrey Rose and her uncle actually work on dead bodies. This is very strange because a girl in this time would not be allowed to be around dead bodies. It would be seen as indecent, immoral, and just wrong. But she's all up in dead bodies. She loves cutting them open and working on all the organs. I find that really cool. Very different. I don't know if that's very realistic, but you know, that's okay. It's a fictional book. With this book, I did see the end coming and the mystery unravel as it happened. That's just something I do. It was very slow and I grew bored a lot, so I kind of had to push myself to finish reading it, which I did, and I kind of went on and off as I switched to other books, but I don't think I'm going to read the sequel to this, which is not a standalone. I thought it was a standalone when I first picked this up. It's a full series with the same characters, just so you know. It was a great idea. I love the cover of it. I like the characters. It was a bit boring and dull and slow at times, and it just very predictable as well. So I gave this, I think, 2.5 stars. So the next one I read this month was Slasher Girls and Monster Boys, I always say that weird, by April Genevieve Chocholke and a bunch of other authors that I don't want to list. They're just, it's like a collection of novellas that have to do with horror and cool things like that. I don't really know how to rate this because they're all different stories and they're all different authors and writers, so it's not the same. But as a whole collection, I'd probably give it 4 stars. It did have good stories. They did make sense and they were fun. They weren't very scary or horror-filled for me personally, because none of that stuff ever really gets to me. And I think it was a pretty good anthology. Stories were good, they were short, but they got to the point, so they explained stuff. So I gave this 4 stars. The next one is The Best Kind of Magic by Crystal Sestari. Something like that. These authors and their names, they make it hard on purpose just to make me be stumped as I'm talking. Anyways, this follows Amber Sand, and she's got magic in the kind of way where she gets people together. She is a matchmaker. She can see people and they're soulmates basically, and kind of runs a side business as her mom owns like a Wiccan apothecary shop in this little town. There's like a witch coven and everything, and there's a mystery going on and magic and romance in the summertime. It was pretty cute. It was different from what I expected it to be like, so I kind of wasn't as into it as I thought and hoped I would be, but it was still a pretty good book. I give it 3.5 stars. And the next one is This Mortal Coil by Emily Savada. This, I was not expecting to love so much. I don't know how to proclaim my love for this book. It's so amazing. It starts out kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Cliche and overused, just like every other YA dystopian out there currently. It kind of had the same feeling of like Divergent in the Hunger Games-esque type stuff. But this turned out to be very different, surprisingly. It involves a lot of DNA and reconstructing, and it's kind of set in the future, and there's like robotic parts in these people. I don't really know how to explain it because it's very scientific-y, and I'm not a scientific-y person. All I know is that there's a lot of changing involved, a lot of mystery, and I don't know, I just loved this a lot more than I thought I would. There was some twists and turns I did not see coming, which is really hard. But I really loved this book. I gave it 4.5 stars. So the first one I finished this month is Bound by Honor by Cora Riley, and it's like a mafia romance. It's kind of dark and gritty. It may not be everyone's thing, but basically the dad marries off his daughter to this mafia guy, and he's like super creepy and tall and not at all a Prince Charming, and so she's kind of upset about that, which I understand. But it turned out good, happily ever after. It is a series. I think it has like 6 books right now. Each is a different character, which, if you know me, is right up my alley. So happy about that. I think I gave that 3 stars. And next one is Something in the Way by Jessica Hawkins. And this was for my book of the month read that I get in my email. I mentioned it in my TBR for February. It wasn't what I was expecting. It's cut off into different parts for the book. So this book, it just follows our main character as she's a young kid. So she's like 13 or so, in like the 80s or something like that. And her older sister and the guy that they meet. Her older sister and him kind of get together, but the little sister really likes him and has a crush on him, and so you kind of see what she goes through and what he goes through and what he's thinking of a younger aged kid, and it's really messy, it's very emotional, but I didn't love it, and I'm not going to continue on because I could not connect to these characters at all. I didn't feel any emotion connected to them. It was just kind of a boring, dull story that had no life to it. I think I gave it like 2 stars. Unless I didn't rate it yet, then I don't know. So the next one I read on ebook is The Upside of Falling Down by Rebecca Crean. I found this on Amazon. It was like $2. It might still be $2. What? It might still be $2. And basically this follows a girl. She's in a plane crash. She forgets who she is. She decides her name is going to be Jane. She meets a guy and she's like, take me away from the hospital. Let me go to Ireland with you. He's like, okay. It's not really that like fast. He's like, okay, let's go. He kind of restrains. He's like, this is weird. This girl wants me to just drive her to my house. But he does. Fictional books. And her story kind of plays out, and she's just kind of learning more about who she originally was and how she has to be that girl but also this new girl and how different they are. She meets friends, secrets are unraveled. This had a very big plot twist for me. I did not see any of this coming. It wrecked me. And I wasn't expecting to like this book so much, but I really do. I really love this book. I recommend it. Give it a go. Why not? It's cheap, as long as it's still cheap. But I haven't rated it yet, but I'll give it like 4.5 stars. Okay, so apparently that's all I read in ebooks this month. That's weird. I hope you enjoyed this video. Are there any that you have heard of or have read or have not heard of and want to read? Comment down below and let me know. I'd love to hear from you guys. Please thumbs up and subscribe if you want to. Share the video. I really appreciate it. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.